Hi, I'm going to talk about the guidance for industry content and the format of composition statement and the corresponding statement of ingredients in the labeling in NDAs and ANDAs. Even though it is about a policy, today I'm more focusing on the CMC perspective regarding the ANDA and the NDA submissions, what should be adequate information to be included in a composition and the labeling. So today's learning objective, you will be able to describe content and the format in the composition statement of a drug product. You'll be able to describe what exactly to include in the statement of ingredients in the labeling. And you will be better understand the requirement for consistency in composition information through the NDA and the ANDA submissions. So the FDC Act and the 21 CFR 314, they are requirements for NDA and ANDA to provide full list of components used in the drug product manufacturing, and also provide a clear statement of composition in the drug product. So this guidance is a draft guidance. It is fairly new, published 5 months ago in April, first draft. So this guidance recommends what kind of accurate and complete information regarding the composition statement and the statement of labeling. Ingredients in labeling should be provided. This will ensure that FDA approved labeling and composition contain adequate qualitative and quantitative information. And this definitely will help CMC assessment to ensure we have an efficient assessment process and minimize the communication cycles and lead to fast approval of and the NDAs. So what exactly we mean by composition statement? So it should include the qualitative and quantitative information of active and inactive ingredients of a drug product, specifically in the ECTD submission is in module 3, section P1. And what is the statement of ingredients? It means the information of all the ingredients in active and active listed in the labeling, which is in the ECTD module 14, and including other types of FDA-approved labeling, such as the cartoon container labeling, patient insert labeling. So what should be included in the composition statement? So first of all, first is the name of all the active and inactive ingredients with clear identification, such as grade and type. So for this, you can refer to the established name of USP NF monograph, and also the FDA Global Substance Registration System, or GSRS, to refer to these source. And for the GSRS, the ingredients has a unique ingredient identifier, or called a Unicode. So it also, second component of the statement should include the reference, compendial reference standard. If it's a USP-NF, then it should be clarified. If it's in-house, then it's in-house. And also the primary function of inactive ingredients, which means the role of the ingredients played in the formulation. You can further refer to the USP General Chapter 1059 for the excipient performance for the functional categories of the excipients for further information. It should be a straightforward terminology such as preservatives, antioxidants, buffering agent, or salt-forming agent, etc. should be clear. So the fourth component is the quantity of each ingredient. It includes the concentration in the liquid, mg per mil. Mg per mil, and also the amount or strength per unit. And also it can be the percentage by volume or weight. And it should be in the same units for each quantity category. So here's an example of the composition statement. So this is an example for injectable injection drug product. Sodium jurazide is a hypothetical API for the purpose of presentation. So it includes name. So the name is very clear and specific. Either it's a API sodium salt, or it's a sodium citrate dihydrate, or a citric acid monohydrate. Edited sodium dihydrate is very clear. Okay. Second component is about the material related to the compendial standard. So in this case, they are all USP compendial. And the function is API, tonicity, buffer agent, preservative, and the quantity in mg per mil, mg per vial unit, and the percentage of weight by volume. And this is continued example for the name. It's very clear, specific povidone K17. And also the compendial standards, it's could be in-house and USP or national formulary or in-house. Yeah, the function and the quantity. So this is a complete an accurate representation of the formulation. So I'm going to give a little bit more specifics how to identify ingredients in composition statement. First of all, the active ingredients, it can be in salt form, even though the potency in the labeling typically is expressed in the potency of the free base or active moiety. So, both of the information should be clarified in the composition statement. And if API is a mixture, so it can be a chemical isomer or sterile isomer, then it should be stated clearly in the composition. If it's a racemic mixture, it also should be clarified. So for inactive ingredients, hydration form, the grade composition of the ingredient, and a type of polymer, it can be molecular weight or the different composition. We are going to give a more example in later slides. And also purity. So I'm going to give an example to identify API in the module 3, P1. P1 is the description and the composition of drug product. So here it says sodium jurazide is a salt of jurazide converted by reacting with sodium hydroxide. Each ml of the drug product contains 27.3 mg sodium jurazide, which is equivalent to jurazide, which is a free base of 25 mg. So In this case, we assume assume the API is a mixture. So you would say drugside is a mixture of drugside A and drugside B in a ratio of 3:1. This is an example to explain it. So yeah, this is very clear. So about the inactive ingredients, what information to include? First of all is the hydration form. So in this case, the sodium citrate, citric acid, added sodium. So they are differentiated by anhydrous, monohydrate, or dihydrate, other forms. I know the USP monograph may cover different hydration forms. So, but the recommendation is to be clear what form you are using in the formulation. So the next one is a polymer type like povidone. The same USP monograph can cover different nominal K values. And the second example is hypromellose. Differentiated by substitution type of methoxy and hydroxy propoxy percentage. The next one is hydroxyethyl cellulose, which contain different proportion of hydroxy ethoxy group. And the carbomer has a different type by the cross-linking and copolymer composition. And more example about the composition, like a stearic acid, it can be differentiated by the percentage of stearic acid and palmitic acid. And also the next example is about the purity content, acetic acid and glacial acetic acid. They're differentiated by the different purity, and alcohol and dehydrated alcohol, also the same, differentiated by the purity. So more specific about the statement of ingredients in the labeling. So this means the list of ingredients in module, ECTD module 1, section 14, it should be consistent with the statement of composition in module 3, P1. And qualitative information for all the active and inactive ingredients in the labeling, and a quantitative information of API for all drug products, and a quantitative information for inactive ingredients for parenteral injection. So here is an example. Again, it's for a hypothetical injection drug product. So the description of labeling in ECTD 1.14, it says, each milliliter contains a drug dose, drugside 25 mg, equivalent to the sodium salt 27.3 mg, and the following ingredients: citric acid monohydrate 1 milligram, etc. So they are specific in the type of the ingredients and the amount, and also the pH adjuster. It does not, if it's a use adjuster, it does not have to be quantitative information provided, but definitely it should be listed in the labeling. So some observations during our CMC review, and this first one is observation. Second is how it should be clarified. So first, a compendial reference not identified. So it should be compendial or in-house. And hydration form not identified. Very common for us, like sodium, added sodium, and just added sodium. We don't know what kind of form it is. And sodium carbonate monohydrate, so it is clear on the right column. And the pH adjusting agent not listed or clarified. It's not in the labeling, or it can be missing from the composition statement also. So it should be clearly listed. And inconsistent unit of concentration for inactive ingredients. So sometimes all the ingredients are expressed in a percentage weight by volume, but one of them maybe presented in a different unit. This is not a good situation, so it should be corrected. And for the conversion, you may also provide additional information such as density and temperature, etc., to convert to a consistent unit of ingredients. Okay, so another example is a composition of active ingredients deviated from the USP monograph. So in the case, the raw material may be pre-processed. So in this case, is a pre-acidified polysorbate 80. So it's considered in-house, even though your starting material, polysorbate 80, is a USP NF grade, but this is pre-processed. And the grade of the inactive ingredients are not clarified. So on the right column, the clear example is a povidone 17 or hypromellose 1822. They are very clearly specified. So we just talked about the composition statement, how we should include in terms of content format, and also the labeling, what should be included in the statement of ingredients. Throughout the CMC submission, actually, there are more to be taken care of. First of all, is in the batch formula in the module 3P, section P3, and a master batch record, executive batch records. In the relevant modules, they should be consistent. Sometimes we see inconsistency, and this should be noted. So also, if the multiple manufacturing facilities include, there may be some variation. Okay, so the composition statement and the labeling should include all possible ingredients and levels in the composition statement, and be consistent in the labeling. So here's a few examples for inconsistency we observe in the NDA and the ANDA submissions. First example is acid base added as pH adjusters, but they are omitted either in the P1 composition of the drug product, or they could be omitted in the batch formula. So we needed to make sure that the composition table in P1 and the batch formula include consistent information about the pH adjuster. So the second example is a composition table lists the ingredient in fixed amount. However, in the batch record, it says QS. Okay, this is not consistent. So they should be consistently presenting each active and inactive ingredients and their amount. So with all that, I want to present a challenge question. First is the following should be included in the composition statement of a drug product. First, name of all the active ingredients and inactive ingredients. B, reference quality standard for all ingredients. C, primary function of active ingredients. D, quantitative information. And E, all. Which one? Oh, I heard all. I think all of you. Great. Okay. Second question, which is not needed in the statement of ingredients in labeling? This could be more than one answer, not true. First, name of all active and inactive ingredients. And the pH adjusters, grade or type of inactive ingredients, polymorphic form of API, processing aid used in the drug product and manufacturing. Which one? Which one, D? D and E, okay, great. Yeah, so I should emphasize this is still the very first draft. Is still revising, and we are addressing public comments. So we definitely welcome more questions in the panel discussion. Actually, my colleague Rachel is a panelist, so we can discuss, and also refer to the 1059 for excipient performance as a resource. So in summary, composition statement should include clearly identified ingredients and their quantitative amounts. Statement of ingredients in labeling should list complete ingredients that are consistent with composition statement. And batch formula and manufacturing batch records in the ECTD submission should be consistent with composition statement. So I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues at work unit OPQA2 of OPQ for their feedback, and also our wonderful guidance working group when I prepared this talk. I got very good feedback, and I thank all of them. So next, I will invite Dr. Fang Lu to the podium.